Time is money. 5 best watches to invest in for 2023. Although watches are there to be enjoyed on the wrist, the last decade or so has seen a rapid increase in people that would like to make money by investing in them. The world of luxury mechanical watches offers people the chance to make quite a good sum if you know what timepieces to invest in. But in 2022, the prices for some of the most popular investment watches came down, which makes it a good time to buy for collection or investment. Welcome to our channel that provides helpful videos on finance, investing, and earning more money in order to be independent and escape the financial system that has been binding us for ages. We do not provide financial advice, and anything that is said on this YouTube channel should not be seen as financial advice. These are biased opinions based on knowledge and personal experience. You should always understand that with investing there is always a risk, and do your own research before making any investments. For this video, we will thank our friends at Lux Watches. Please follow their Instagram page in our description below. Before we get started, it is important to clarify what we mean by an investment watch and let you know that there is no get-rich-quick scheme to be found here. Instead, this guide is meant to highlight some currently undervalued watches, references that have recently become discontinued, and models that will likely be more expensive to acquire should you delay your purchase by another year. Now, without further ado, here are the 5 best watches to invest in for 2023. Rolex, all models. In March, the price of a second-hand Rolex Daytona watch peaked at a whopping $48,500. It's come a little closer to Earth since, and is now around $30,000 on the secondary market, according to watch charts. Prices of Rolex watches on the secondary market skyrocketed during the first several months of 2022, before dipping a bit as the year ended. But the Rolex's value as an investment has outperformed other assets like gold and the stock market for the past decade, according to an analysis by Bob's Watches. Chrono24, a popular luxury watch marketplace, claims approximately 25% of site searches are Rolex-related. Around 14% of the platform's sales come from Rolex watches, and 80% of those are pre-owned. One of the reasons for Rolex's swift rise in prices amidst recent years comes down to supply. Rolex reportedly makes about 800,000 watches each year, but the popularity of the brand means demand vastly exceeds the supply of new timepieces, leading to a robust secondary market for pre-owned watches. Indeed, the sales numbers for Rolex on average shows an uptick beginning in 2017, followed by an even sharper bump up in 2020. As of February 2022, the average Rolex price is more than $13,000, nearly 3 times the 2011 average of $5,000. We have included almost all Rolex models in this section. Because Rolex was the brand that started the luxury watch market, it is the daddy of watches, so owning either of these models, it is a good investment. The most popular and long-term investment Rolexes that are trending these days are Rolex Submariner, Oyster Perpetual, Rolex Explorers, Rolex GMTs, Rolex Day-Date President, Rolex Daytonas, and Rolex Skydwellers. AudemarsPiguet code 1159. The second watch brand is AudemarsPiguet, and especially AP code 1159. AP developed a brand new entry-level luxury watch in an effort to capitalize on the enormous demand for the impossibly hard-to-find Royal Oak series. Thus, this model was created with the purpose of persuading watch aficionados to buy something already in stock. The price of the code 1159, which starts at an astonishing $30,000 and is only available in precious metals. The code 1159 acts as a hybrid sports and dress watch that is 41 millimeters wide yet just 11 millimeters thick. Some of the unusual design choices that appeared so odd at launch, like the 8-side case metal, are beginning to make sense. With a bit more time, the code 1159 possesses aesthetic design features, ranging from the intricately carved lugs to the double-curved crystal. With a deceptive hall of mirrors, this model delivers AP's desire to write a new chapter in history by providing both a forward and a backward perspective for potential investors prepared to take a chance on the next big thing. AP only has to introduce a steel version of the code 1159 for half the price to guarantee investment success. IWC Engineer SL Jumbo Ref, reference number 1832. The third watch on this list is the third Gerald Genta creation of the famous Genta trilogy of sports watches. The IWC Engineer SL Jumbo Ref, reference number 1832, was introduced in 1976, the same year that Patek Philippe released the Nautilus. Genta's Engineer was a brilliant modern take on IWC Engineer watch that was first launched in the 1950s. Genta created a concept for the watch that fit that engineer's profile perfectly. It features a 40mm round case with an integrated bracelet. The IWC Engineer was not as slim as the AudemarsPiguet Royal Oak and Patek Philippe Nautilus. The reason is that the case features an anti-magnetic construction to shield the watch from the strong magnetic fields engineers would work in. Inside the case, IWC equipped the watch with the anti-magnetic, self-winding IWC caliber 8541ES, a movement that was the perfect companion for the task at hand. More engineer's magic can be found on the front of the watch, which came in a black or gray dial, with both having a pattern inspired by graph paper. It gives the dial a great texture and depth that tells the engineer story perfectly. If you are buying an IWC Engineer SL Jumbo, reference number 1832, you are buying a piece of unique watch history. While it might be nowhere near as popular as the Royal Oak and the Nautilus, it is part of the same Genta legacy. Prices for the Genta Engineer start at roughly $28,000 and move up to $35,000. Considering its story and legacy, it seems only logical that these prices will increase more over time. Patek Philippe, reference number 5172G chronograph. Next is fan favorite Patek Philippe. With the astronomical prices for the Patek Philippe Nautilus and Aquanaut slowly coming back down to earth, they seem like uncertain investments for now. But Patek Philippe has other models that are equally stunning as well as popular with buyers. A good example is the Patek Philippe reference number 5172G chronograph. The 5172G is celebrated among Patek enthusiasts that love the more classical side of the brand. The 5172G is a white gold chronograph with a dark blue dial and strap that was launched in 2019. Earlier this year, the brand introduced a second version that also features a white gold case but comes with a salmon dial and a brown strap. For this article, we will focus on the model that came out in 2019 and which has been performing very well. The watch's 41mm white gold case is 1145mm thick, making it a fairly slim chronograph that is very easy to wear. The watch comes equipped with a box-shaped sapphire crystal on the front of the case and a sapphire crystal display case back that gives you a great view of the stunning manual Patek Philippe caliber CH 29 to 535 pounds. This movement is a piece of art and is just as fascinating as the front of the watch. Speaking of which, the watch features a blue varnish dial with white gold applied Arabic numerals. The watch comes with a matching blue leather strap that creates a beautiful timepiece that is firmly rooted in the past with a modern feel thanks to its color. Prices for the 5172G have risen gradually over time, so you can expect them to land between roughly $70,000 and $85,000. We would not be surprised if especially the lower end of that range rises gradually over time. Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500V Brown Dial. Last watch on our list is Vacheron Constantin. If you are not familiar with the brand and the watch, here's a quick reminder. Together with Patek Philippe and AudemarsPiguet, Vacheron Constantin forms the holy trinity of Swiss watchmaking. While prices were going up for quite a while, we have also seen a dip for the Overseas 4500V. As such, who better to turn to for a brilliant modern stainless steel luxury sports watch? The brand's Overseas is inspired by the Vacheron Constantin 222 from the 1970s that made a glorious return earlier this year in a modern full gold version. While that is of course a watch to look out for, the Overseas is the brand's modern take on a sports watch. The Vacheron Constantin Overseas 500V is a direct competitor to the Nautilus and Royal Oak and has been growing in popularity over the last few years. Prices for this watch are nowhere near the levels of its legendary competitors. Having said that, the currently available versions of the Overseas have come down in price, just like its great competitors. There is, however, one special version that is still expensive and will probably remain so because it is out of production. The brown dial version of the Overseas 4000 500V that was produced for only 1 year from 2016 to 2017. Prices for the brown dial version start just north of $40,000 and move up to just over $65,000. As there aren't that many for sale and the brown dial is discontinued, this version of the beautiful Overseas 4000 500V will potentially appreciate significantly. That was all for this video today. Thanks again, and make sure to subscribe if you want more tips on how to grow your wealth. We hope to see you in our next episodes. Goodbye, and take care.